It's been quite a busy week in the North Gauteng High Court as Tumelo Madlala gave his version of events leading up to the death of slain soccer sensation Meyiwa. From abuse of power by investigators to his sudden failure to remember important details and key moments of how everything played out, his testimony in the Meyiwa Murder Trial came to a close today. Madlala was in the house the night the soccer star was killed during an alleged robbery. eNCA's Slindelo Masikane is following these developments and joins us now for more. So, Sli, today's sitting didn't really last very long, did it?
Not long at all. In fact, what we saw was just the re-examination of Tumelo Madlala's testimony, and that is coming from the state after a very grilling 3 weeks of testimony, most of it being cross-examination by the defense, who of course have labeled him an evasive witness, who have said that he has a selective memory, and have outright called him a liar and said that he is on the witness stand to try and protect the real story behind what happened to his best friend. In fact, putting questions to him which speak to his character, saying that, you know, he participated in a Netflix documentary where he sold the images of his best friend but didn't even share the proceeds with not only Meyiwa's children but his family as well. And one particular sticking point which the defense really stressed was around the alcohol that was consumed on the night that Meyiwa was killed, or should I say the day that Meyiwa was killed, because we do know that once Meyiwa had picked up Madlala and they had headed back to Slindelo, they first began to buy alcohol at a tavern, and for much of the cross-examination, Madlala has not been able to tell the defense exactly how much alcohol was consumed. So what the defense is trying to show the court is that it seems that the sobriety of those in the house is in question. We don't know how much they drank. We know that the crime scene was tampered with. There was evidence removed. There were questions around the alcohol cans which were found. Police only found 2 cans, and Madlala has said himself that he had at least 4 cans of beer. So the defense rather is saying that how can we really trust the testimony of Madlala? How credible is it if we don't know exactly how much alcohol was consumed? Because there's a possibility that everyone in the house may have been drunk. So in re-examination, we saw the state really trying to salvage some of Madlala's testimony. Let's take a listen.
As you were drinking, what happened to the cans, to the empty cans?
Ngesikhathi niphuza ke lamakani besiniwaphuzile lawa empty kwenzekeni ngawo ngokuthi ke uadvocate umsholo ukhuluma ukuthi ke amanye amakani wayeseyisusiwe ngesikhathi amaphoyisa sekafika lapho ngokuthi kule ithombe nawo njengoba uzibonela enkantolo kuvela amakani amabili. So kwenzekeni ngalamakani amanye la beseniwaphuzila empty.
Le amakana angifuni ukuqamba ngiyazi indaba yayo ngoba njengoba sasiphuza ngithi utshwala babekwe efrijini, so babileke blanda efrijini, so mase kwenzeke lento angazi the rest amakani ayabo because bese ngingekho mina besambisa usenze isibhedlela, so angazi kwasala kwenzakalani.
About the issue of the cans, really I don't want to lie about it as to what had happened about the cans, because as we were drinking this alcohol, some of it was kept inside the fridge. So as to what happened with the cans after consuming them, after we have went to the hospital, I cannot tell because we took Senzo to the hospital.
We're referring to the time when you were drinking, where the cans left, for instance, to pile up to lie there, or what was the position?
Sikhuluma ngesikhathi niphuza ngisho nijabulisa ukuthi lamakani beniwabeka lapho nje ukuthi amana ahlale lapho noma bokwenzekani ngawo. I don't remember who was collecting them water. Don't remember.
Sli, judging by reports throughout the week, I'm sure that Tumelo Madlala is glad that he has been excused. Can you describe how he has fared as a witness in this case?
You know, as somebody who has seen Madlala in the witness box, for much of it, he seemed very I don't know, standoffish. He has a bit of an attitude in court. Every time he was asked a direct question, he would want to answer questions with questions. And so legal experts have said that he is certainly a witness that they viewed as being very evasive, and that the court may not actually place too much weight on his testimony, because given the fact that on several occasions the judge had to caution him to not, chastise or be in a back and forth with the defense, to just answer the questions that are asked to him and cooperate. So, I think it's going to be interesting to see exactly how much weight the court will put in his version of events, given the fact that many inconsistencies were picked up that don't corroborate what he said in several of his statements. So let's just take a listen to a legal expert with regards to how they viewed Madlala in the witness box.
I think the apt and most accurate assessment or characterization of his testimony, in my own view, is that he was the most evasive witness ever. He didn't come across as a credible person. He answered questions with questions. He failed to stick to his guns in terms of the consistency of the version. And he was caught out by both defense counsel, who pointed out inconsistencies with regard to his earlier statements vis-a-vis what he would have said when he gave the dog identification. And without preempting what the judge's final take on his testimony may be, my best bet is that not too much weight would be attached to his testimony on account of his own deportment, his own reluctance to answer simple questions, and wanting to direct the defense or telling the defense what questions he is prepared to answer. So I don't think he assisted the state's case in any significant manner, to be frank.
Slee, this trial has certainly been sensational so far. Many South Africans watching very carefully what's going on, and one has to remind oneself that it's not a soap opera, that it is in fact the trial of someone or the trial around a murder. Someone lost their life. What can we expect going forward? Who's going to testify next?
I've been getting that question all day today as to who's going to testify next. And at this point, it's still unclear. We don't know. But given some of the analysis that we've received, there's a strong possibility that it may be somebody else who was in the house. It may be somebody who witnessed some of the events after the shooting outside. It also may be a forensic expert. The only way we're going to find out is for us to actually resume with court proceedings on Monday. And so we are expecting to start at around 10 a.m. I know a lot of our colleagues as well, and you have been asking me if I do know who it is. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Unfortunately, I can't reveal that, but we are certainly looking forward to starting the new week with a new witness, the state's fourth witness in the witness box.
Thank you very much, Slindelo Masikane. And if you are curious about developments in that trial, eNCA is exactly the right place to find out all the developments as they unfold.